let's talk about algebraic expressions. Now, that might sound complicated, but trust me, algebra is used all the time in ways that we don't even always realize we're using algebra. I'm going to start by giving you a real life example. Starting with someone named, let's pretend there's someone named Sandy, and she has a job walking dogs. She's a dog walker, and she makes $10 per hour walking dogs. But the thing is, she doesn't know how many hours every week that she's going to work. It just depends on who calls her and asks her to walk their dog. So when we are dealing with algebra, we are dealing with letters that represent numbers. And these numbers might change, they might vary, or they're an unknown. And in this case, what we are going to say is, I'm not going to use the dollar sign. We're going to say 10H is how much Sandy makes per week. Let's just say it's on a weekly basis. Or it doesn't even have to be. 10H is how much money Sandy makes walking dogs. Now, what we have here, 10H, is actually an algebraic expression. And you might be saying, well, what does 10H mean? Oh, let me get rid of this. 10H represents $10 times the number of hours. I'm going to put it here. Number of hours worked walking dogs. And I did H for hours. Now, you'll notice that the 10 is next to the H. In algebra, a number next to a letter means that that number is being multiplied by that letter. Now, there are different ways to show that two numbers are being multiplied. So, we could say 10 times H. This dot, it's not a decimal dot, which is on the bottom. It's actually like in the middle. It hovers in the middle. 10 times H is the same as 10 times H, except we don't use the time signal, which is the same as 10H. We actually do not use the times, that X, when we are working with algebra, because X is a letter that can actually represent a number. Let me give you an example here. So we know $10 times the number of hours that Sandy works equals her earnings for a week or for more, right? That means that, and let's think about this. So if Sandy works she works 2 hours, we would do 10 times 2. Notice I'm putting the 2 in parentheses because I don't want to put an X there because I'm working with algebraically. That means she's going to make $20. Now, if she worked for 3 hours, she would make $30. Makes sense, right? But we don't always know how many hours she's going to work. So the algebraic equation would be, let me do a different color, 10H equals E. Now, what makes this an equation is I've got an equal sign. And now, anytime we know what H is, we're going to be able to find E. So if Sandy works 5 hours in a week, we know 10 times 5, we can put the 5 in for H, equals 50. So H equals 5, E equals, say, $50. And we have found the amounts or the values of H and E. An algebraic expression does not have an equal sign, and that's simply the easiest way to remember what an expression is versus an equation. So if I write a plus 1, that would, let's say a plus 1, 1 times x. That's an expression. Oops, I didn't mean to do. That's an expression. There's no equal sign. But if I say a plus 1x equals 3, that's an equation. So think equation, equal sign. Now, I think we can handle just a little bit more of understanding algebra. Now remember, a variable is an unknown amount or number, and we use letters to describe that unknown amount. And in algebra, and this is an important thing to understand, different letters represent different amounts. So if I have a plus b equals c, we have to know that if we are going to substitute, or if we're going to, that these are all different values. They're all different numbers. A does not equal B, which does not equal C. Also, the way we can start thinking about using numbers with letters in algebra is to really think about it. I like visuals. So let's pretend I have 3 of something. Let's say let's say I just have something 3 x's. X, X, X. Oh, sorry, I have 4 x's. Okay, I have 4 x's here. X represents something. We don't know what. It might represent books. It might represent rocks. It might represent pieces of paper. But right now, all I know is I've got 4 of x. That actually equals 4x, or 4 times x, which we can also write like this. All these different ways to write the same thing. I will tell you the most common way that you're going to see it is just the number next to the letter, 4x. You actually circle that. Now, what if I have, let's work with the letter A. I have A, and A. I have 3 A's. That's going to be 3A. 3A. Now, A plus A plus A. Actually, you know what? I think that's going to confuse you because we are going to soon learn about the distributive property. So let me stick to what we're doing here. Now let's pretend we've got B. Now let's pretend we have A and B. A. I only have 3 A's, and then we'll do how many B's? 2 B's. If I were to create or write an algebraic expression to describe what I've got here, I would have 3 A's plus 2 B's. So 3A plus 2B. Now, what if I have this? 1 plus A plus B. Let me make that a different color. Plus B plus B plus B. Well, now I've got 1. Let me make it 1. Oh my gosh, I cannot write today. 1 plus 2A plus 3B. That would be my, you know what, I'm going to not show the equal sign. That 1 plus 2A plus 3B would be my algebraic expression. I'm actually going to stop there because this is a lot. And even though it helps when to understand this using real life examples, which I do in my class, but for now, what the real takeaway that I want you to have is that the letters represent quantities, values that we don't necessarily know yet, and that the way that we will write those quantities when they are, added together, or is a number next to a letter. And the other takeaway is that an algebraic expression describes, some operation, but it does not have an equal sign, and that's how it's differentiated from an equation. And we're going to stop there till the next time.